And we begin with a devastating story here. Devastating attack hit Katsina State as armed bandits stormed a mosque in Unguwan Mantau during Fajr prayers, killing 13 worshippers on the spot. Authorities say it was a brutal reprisal as locals had ambushed the bandits just 2 days earlier, killing several and rescuing abducted victims. Security forces are now on ground with the Katsina State Government promising immediate reinforcement and justice. And joining us live is a security expert who is also the country director of Global Peace Foundation Nigeria, Reverend Joseph Hayab, and he joins us now from Kaduna for more on this attack. Reverend, thanks so much for joining us. What does this attack tell us about the evolving tactics of bandit groups, especially their willingness to strike religious sites, especially during prayer hours?
Thank you very much for having me. It is unfortunate that we are back to this era of bandits attacking places of worship, especially what happened at Unguwan Mantau in Fajr local government of Katsina State early hours of this morning, when faithfuls just left their home to go and seek the face of God and pray for themselves and pray for the nation, but ended up being killed by enemies of the state, by people who do not love peace. It is sad, it is regrettable. I want to extend my condolences to their families, to the government and people of Katsina State, and to Nigeria as a whole. But it is sad that we have allowed this to continue. Nigerians will remember that sometimes in June 2022, similar attack was done in the church in Ondo State, where over 40 worshippers were killed. You know, when things like this keep happening and there is no decisive action to show the bandits that we have a government in place, they will keep coming. They will continue to do this. The claim is that it is a reprisal attack. What is the sin of the community to simply come out and defend themselves and stop enemies of their community from tormenting them or carrying their loved ones to demand for huge ransom? This is to show that more needs to be done in ensuring that we tackle these criminals among us. We stop these criminals from tormenting our citizens. In the past few days, we've been celebrating the arrest of the terrorist gang leaders and his deputy, and we thought it's something that will last long. But sadly, this incident this morning is cutting short our joy. But we will not be deterred. We know that our government can do it, and we want to challenge her to wake up and do it. She has done that in the past. She can still do it. There is no reason to allow enemies to torment citizens and go scot-free.
I mean, just yesterday I was asking one of my guests about the possibility of a reprisal attack, and barely 24 hours, here we are with reports of a reprisal attack in this community. So the question is, how should communities balance self-defense with the risk of escalation from armed groups? Do they stand a chance?
Yeah, I think many communities in Nigeria seem to lost this reality. These criminals will continue to come. Our strategy to keep them away should not just be a one-day action. Should be a continuous action, should be what we keep doing every day. I've been to many local communities and I advise them that, look, if in this local community you can put together 200, 1,000, 700 or 500 young people, share them into days, that every day there is a specific number of young men that will guard this community 24 hours. They should not all do it on the same day, but they should guard this community 24 hours. What are the weapons they will use in doing that? We don't need to discuss that on the pages of newspaper or in a media interview. But sometimes when we have one victory, we go to sleep. When we have one success, we feel they have gone. No, these criminals will not just go by one success. We need to consistently show them that we are awake, protecting our community, defending our families, defending our properties, defending what belongs to us. If they come continuously for 30 days, they meet us continuously for 30 days, waiting to chase them away. If they come continuously for 6 months, they meet us waiting for them for 6 months to chase them away. And it's a simple strategy that a community can do it without necessarily making noise about. But sometimes one needs to keep reminding Nigeria that fighting insecurity is not the job of security agencies alone. It's what we all must do. It's what everybody must play his role. It is sad that this has happened, but we keep reminding people in our places of worship that when we go to worship, we should be able to keep intelligent people, people who know their right from their left, to watch over others worshiping. Next Sunday, a new group will be the one to watch over us. If we don't do that, these criminals will not let us have joy. These criminals will continue to take the lives of innocent people and cause us more grief and pains.
Let's bring in the government as well. As much as, the communities are left, they are very vulnerable communities, by the way, rural and vulnerable communities who are left to, secure and safeguard their lives. But really, the job is supposed to be at the government level. So at the state level, one has to ask their culpability in all of this. Are they doing enough to safeguard those communities? Because we understand that the state government, as well as security forces, are now on ground, and the state government is promising immediate reinforcement and justice. But how firm is that?
Yeah, this is the unfortunate aspect of it. Reinforcement always comes after the damage has been done. But because we are in the community and we know the situation we are facing, we must not sleep to keep waiting for reinforcement. But the government needs to do the right thing, ensure that security are in strategic places to secure the people. But we also, as citizens, must admit the fact that it is not possible for our government to have security everywhere all the time. That's where our role comes to play. I've seen many state governors engaging young people or engaging vigilante or other security agencies, and then there are other people that can play different roles. Unless all these different groups that are emerging complement each other, have synergy in the way they carry out their duty, we will have these kind of things happening. But I do agree that government have a role. I also know that we also have something to do. When we keep waiting for government to do it, government may not be able to give us everything we want. We need to stand up for ourselves. I've had the director of SSS or DGSSS in Nigeria on several occasions in the media saying, wait a minute, we cannot be everywhere for you. You also need to mobilize yourself, strategize, and chase these criminals. And as I've earlier said, don't just do a one-day strategy, a one-week strategy, a one-month strategy. It must be a consistent strategy. We should have people in that community who understand this, to be able to share this group of young men or able people who will watch over their land every day. Not everybody doing it. No, every day this group will be there, another day another group. At least if we have 500 of them and they are sharing themselves into 80, that means in a week you have only one day that you have a 24 hours surveillance or watching over the community that you are living. We must do that part of it, even as we want government to do. Because if you bring in police, how many police are in a divisional headquarters? How many communities is that divisional headquarters in charge of? How many military people do we have in the whole of Nigeria? That is where sometimes some of us need to remind ourselves that we also have a role to play, and the role is, as they did by chasing them away and even getting some of them out of the way few days ago, they're supposed to consistently remain doing that until this criminality is over. We have a long way to go until this criminality is over. There's nothing we should do and just do it for one day. We must do it consistently. Then government complementing or supporting government in what it's doing, then we can overcome this crime.
I mean, there's also a lot to be discussed when it comes to intelligence and, just synergy between vigilantes on ground and security and proactiveness on the part of the governance. But I wish there was enough time. I must say thank you, Reverend, for taking out the time to join us. Reverend Joseph Hayab, he is a security expert as well as the country director of Global Peace Foundation Nigeria.